Hey guys, thanks for tuning in to another video on ForgottenWeapons.com. I'm Ian McCullum, and I'm here today at Morphy's with a little tiny pocket knife that's actually really cool, and I want to tell you about it, but there's nothing to see here, so I figured I would distract you a bit with a hand grenade. That's pretty cool. And how about also an MP40? We'll stick that out on the table because it's cool too. Now this goes back to the OSS in World War II. That was the Office of Strategic Services. It was the United States' first serious covert intelligence agency, and it had a dual mission. Part of it was special operations, where they were landing guys behind enemy lines to assist local resistance units in guerrilla operations and training. Direct action sort of stuff. The other was the special intelligence branch, and their mission was to go find enemy secrets through spying. It was literally espionage, classic actual spy work. And they had a bunch of interesting gear. One of the things that a classic spy is going to clearly need is lockpicks. They have to get through locked doors, get into locked cabinets full of secret documents and that sort of thing. It's cliche, but it's also real. So in 1943, OSS did a little bit of looking around, and they ended up buying a couple hundred sets of just classic traditional lockpicks in a leather pouch. And that's cool. They didn't end up actually issuing many of them. That sort of thing is a little bit bulky for what you're carrying around. And if someone happens to search you, like, it's clearly a satchel full of lockpicks. So in February and March of 1944, they came back and they looked at a different option. They were talking to the Ulster Knife Company of Ellensville, New York, about getting lockpicks built in the form factor of a little pocket knife. They got some options for like a six unit and an 8 unit pocket knife. They ended up deciding to go with 6. They ordered 1,000 of these in early 1944. They were delivered in June and July, and they were issued out to agents in the field. Almost all of those 1,000 units were issued out and saw service. So now that you know what this is, let me show you up close how cool it really is. All right, there it is up close. These things are tiny. Like, it's the size of any sort of normal, unobtrusive pocket knife, and it would definitely pass a cursory inspection. Certainly way better than a leather pouch full of full-size lockpicks would. These, by the way, were not manufactured by the Ulster Knife Company. They were actually contracted out to Schrade Cutlery in Walden, New York. Schrade being a rather large company with a rather significant history and track record and reputation, and they're still around today, and they made these guys for the OSS. Now, they have the 6-element version was what the OSS ended up going with. So if we open this up here and see what all we've got, 2 at one end and 4 at the other. So you do get a little utilitarian penknife blade. You then get 2 rakes. You've got that guy and this sort of less symmetrical one. And then you've got 3 individual picks. This one is a sort of simple short pick. You've got a simple, slightly longer pick. And you've got this sort of serif-footed pick in addition to the 2 rakes. This would have originally been issued with in a little leather pouch to hold it, along with a double-ended torsion wrench that was right about the same size, that just kind of fit around the pocket knife body. If you're not familiar with lockpicking, the basic concept is that you use your torsion wrench, which is just basically a little springy piece of steel, to slot into the keyhole of a lock and put a little bit of tension like you're trying to turn the lock. You then go in either with the rakes, and as the name implies, rake them across all the pins inside the lock, attempting to bounce them out of their resting position into their unlocked position. So different profiles of rake can work better or worse on different types of lock. You can do that to work on all of the pins simultaneously, or you can go in and work on setting each pin individually with one of the picks like these. The idea is, since you're holding a little bit of tension on the lock with the wrench, once you get a pin in the unlocked position, it'll sort of stick there. Anyway, very much an art. And apparently these sets of tools were fairly well liked by the guys who got them and had to actually make use of them in the field. Certainly, like I've seen worse ideas for lockpick sets, so there you go. After these were delivered in the summer of 1944, they did get issued out. We have records of 205 of them being sent to the European theater, 275 to the Mediterranean theater, that would be Greece and Yugoslavia, 250 to the Far East, that would be China in particular, as well as probably the Philippines, Burma, India area. By November of 1945, there were only 56 of these left in OSS inventory in Washington, D.C. So they definitely got out and saw use, unlike some of the OSS gear that was either never manufactured in large numbers or was procured and never really distributed. Kind of like the Liberator pistols. Uh-oh, we're back to the little tiny thing you can't see anymore. You're getting distracted again. This time, we're going to go with British commando gear, so check out that Mills bomb, and how about a super early 21 Thompson? All right, these things are just a really cool little piece of history. There are only a handful of these that are known to still survive in the collector's market because there's something really easy to just lose, wear out, throw away, not pay attention to. That said, they're also the sort of thing that people kind of overlook. This doesn't look like anything all that special at the outset. So who knows? There may be more of them floating around. It's certainly really cool to get a chance to take a look at this one. If you are interested in OSS covert operations gear, Headstamp Publishing has actually republished an original World War II OSS gear and weapons catalog, which in fact includes this little guy. It is currently on pre-order, but we're getting pretty darn close to shipping it at this point. And if you're interested, you can order yourself a copy. We have a similar manual or a similar catalog of early CIA equipment as well that you can check out. I'll link to both of those over at Headstamp down in the description. Hopefully you guys enjoyed this look at this little OSS lock-picking knife. Thanks for watching.